Hey everybody, Weem here. Welcome to Gnomoria. So, Gnomoria. Last year I played the demo of Gnomoria and had no clue what was going on. I was promptly frustrated and closed the game and said, yeah, you know what, it's not for me. Now since then I've played more of these games. I say more of these games, these types of games, the Dwarf Fortress types of games where you're not directly controlling your guys, you're assigning tasks, those kinds of things. You guys know, you've seen me play RimWorld, things like Unclaimed World as well. We tested that one out recently. So with those kind of behind, or kind of under my belt, I guess, I thought, you know what, I'm going to go back and check out Gnomoria because I just kind of didn't give it much of a shot. And I ended up watching a tutorial, which I will put down in the description for you to check out if you're looking for something like that. This is not going to be a tutorial, this is me just kind of playing the game for fun, because after watching that tutorial and running a game, not for too long, just mostly the basics, I realized that this is a very fun game. It's a game that I will certainly fail at, but it is pretty fun, at least as far in as I had played. So anyway, we're going to kind of jump right in here. Now, I've already generated the world. If I pan this around, we're in the middle here, and I can pan this around. We've got all kinds of trees. We have cotton. We've got all kinds of stuff near us. We have birch trees down here, bottom left, pine right down here in the middle, more birch. We've really got a lot of stuff around us, and one of the really important things to kind of get us started is water. We can see that up here, and you can see that we've got a bit of a mountain up here. So I think what we'll do is we're probably going to get established pretty much where we are now and a little bit more to the north. And so we have easy access to this water. Now if I scroll down, it will actually cut into the mountains here so we can see underground a bit. And that water, I noticed, comes all the way out to here or so, which is kind of in this area. So I can actually pop a hole there and or just put a well there at some point. So anyway, we don't have to come all the way into here or make a tunnel in or anything like that. So yeah, we've got a pretty decent setup at this point. Now, one of the first things I want to do is jump in here to the population. I can go to assign, and we've got all of our people with the random names, but I want to use your guys' names. So I've already went back through the last number of videos and pulled some names out that I think would work here. So let's just dive right into this. The first one is going to be Miles the Lazy. So Miles, if you're watching, this is your character. Now I noticed I was testing this before. The name didn't immediately update, but when I actually closed it and went back in, it had changed. So you can see that's cool. So I'm just going to kind of run down the list here of your names. The next one is going to be, let's see, Coconut Sales. Now it's S-A-L-E-S, but you know what? I think it might be cool to do Sales, like ship sales. That'll be cool. Third one down, we are going with, let's see, Mr. Maceris. Let's see, let's do a little E there. And let's do an E there as well. I'm missing this here. Okay, Maceris, there we go. Cool, we'll back this out. Go to Rild, we'll change Rild's name to, we're going to go with Tom Heist. Now, his name is Heist Tom, but I'm going to reverse it because Tom is a better first name, I think. Cool, so we'll go to Ol here. Next on the list is Angel Costa. So Angel appeared in RimWorld as well, so Angel is back again. And let's see, Karen was in RimWorld as well. We're going to bring Karen back here. Okay, get her in there. And I think I know where I'm at, but we're going to go ahead and close this and bring it back up again. Okay, so we are now here. Let's see, we have Karen. Okay, let's go to Noxon. Noxon also appeared in RimWorld, so we'll get Noxon back in here. And we've got two more to go. So for the last two here, we're going to go with Nathan Egerton. So hope you're watching here. And finally, looking at my list, we're going to go with Henk. And you have a longer last name set than this, but I'm shortening it to Janin. It's like Janin and something, something, something. But we're just going to do Henk Janin. Cool. So I can close this, go to the population. we can see here is everybody. Now, you know, that's not really sorted by gender or anything. You can see we've only got 5 people here, but they're kind of stacked up on top of each other. So I can see that this one right on top here is Miles. We've got Nathan Egerton here. Hank is underneath. Actually, and we had Tom underneath Mr. Maceras here. So anyway, you can see kind of how this is panning out. We've got all the different people here. Let me back this out. So time is paused, time starts paused, and that's a good thing, and you definitely end up using that quite a bit. So what we need to do is get things going here. We need to get things designated. So we've got this kind of menu when we right-click. A lot of it's down here in the hotkeys, but I find it easier to just use this. So one of the first things I want to do is define a farm. So let's go ahead and do that. Agriculture farm, and let's see. Actually, let me deselect that. So we've got the water here, and we know that somewhere over here we can pop a hole down into a well. So anything in this area is nice. Now, right now there's a bunch of trees in the way of where I kind of want to put a farm. I think we'll just do it, I think we'll just end up putting it out here for now. And I'm not going to make this too big. You can see we've got red where the cotton is, so I can do that and set this farm up. And then I can choose what it's going to be. So let's go ahead and do wheat. Wheat's going to be pretty important so we can feed our animals when we get a pasture set up. So there's that. Let's agriculture, and I think we're going to do forage on this guy to get rid of it. Whoops, I need to select again. So that'll clear that space up. Okay, the other thing I want to do is we've got a farm. We also want to kind of gather things off of the trees and everything around here. So one of the things we can do is actually jump into agriculture, and you can see we've got fell trees. So we could cut down, you know, a big area of trees. Or we can cut clippings, which keeps the trees there but takes everything off of them. It's kind of like foraging everything off the trees, which is kind of cool. So let's do that. In this area. I think what we'll do is we'll do that nearby, and then I'll cut the trees down, and yeah, I think that'll be good. I don't want to cut them down now and just kind of lose everything. So, and we're just standing here, so let's go ahead and do it in this area. We'll do a pretty big area here. Something like this. Okay, so we're going to do that. Now what I want to do is set up a stockpile, right? We need a place for them to kind of put everything. So we're going to designate a stockpile area. And there's some crude workbenches we're going to set up. We kind of want all of this stuff near each other. So let's see. If we've got the farm, we're kind of gathering this stuff here. I'd like to move in, but again, there's a bunch of trees in the way. So some of this stuff we're going to be able to move later as well. It's really not that big a deal. So let's see. Let's designate an area right above these guys here. And it's going to be for pretty much all kinds of goods. And you can decide, right, the kind of things that are going in here. But we're not going to be building any of this other stuff immediately. So that'll work. And I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and just go ahead and cut this tree down. Okay. Excellent. Let's kind of pan this out. Now, as I said before, I've watched a tutorial. Again, it will be down in the description. So I kind of know a little bit about what I'm doing here in the basics, but I will tell you right now, I'm kind of struggling to remember. I think there's another couple things that I want to do initially, but I was actually playing while watching the tutorial and just kind of following along, so I had a good idea, but I'm finding myself blanking just a little bit. I think this is probably a good start. Now, normally I would run this on the very fast, but I'm going to actually just start this at normal speed right here. And of course it wants to save. But we're going to go normal speed here for just a minute. We're going to let them run around and do their things. And while they do that, in fact, this is actually going to pause it. I'm going to jump in here real quick and show you the professions. Now, in the tutorial I watched, he actually went in and he removed all of the professions in here and then created new ones. And what you do is you name it whatever you want, and then you choose what they do. And then over here you assign the order in which they do it. So in this case, mining is their #1 thing. If they can't mine, they do the agriculture, whatever agriculture you have assigned, because you can get specific about that. Now, in this case, I think I'm just going to leave it with the defaults because I found myself tweaking them a lot anyway. So we're just going to leave them. These are the different jobs. And you may have noticed this here when we were renaming everybody, but you can see all the jobs kind of line up here. And people do skill up. So if you have somebody farming a lot, some of their farming skills are going to get a lot higher. But we look at this and we got builders, farmers, miners, we have a rancher, and some woodcutters. And then over here you can see what they're actually doing right now. So I think we're pretty good here. Yeah, although I think we're going to pause it. I think one of the other things we did was, or one of the other things I'm supposed to be doing anyway, is to set up a pasture. I think that they said that was pretty important right off the bat. And I know I did a 5x5 and that was okay before, but I think we'll just do this a little bit bigger. That's cool. And we'll start with that. So let's go ahead and get the timer going again. So we've got a yak down here. You can see kind of moving around down here. And if they're nearby, they should be coming in here. And they are one of the reasons that we want to get this wheat farm going pretty quickly, because that's what they like. That's what they want to eat. So these guys are just running around. You can see that they're picking the fruit. The fruit is kind of coming to the ground, and then they're moving this over into these areas here. Now, I am going to pause it real quick because one of the things we have, where did we start? We started here in the woods, and you can kind of see this little piece of wood, this white bit here, and this kind of boxy looking thing. So we actually started with some crates, bags, and barrels, and those can help store things better. So right now, everything being brought over into the stockpile is just kind of being stacked, and it's just kind of one unit of it. But if we use barrels and things like that, we can actually put quite a few things in there. So we're going to put an order in to build, let's see, storage, crate, and you can see that we have 3 right now, so that's cool. We'll hit build, and we can actually build right over the top of stuff that's here. So I'm just going to click once, drag it out, and then click again. So that's where we'll put build, quote unquote, the 3 crates. And what'll happen actually is they'll go get it and have it brought over. So the idea is that you have these workshops, and they build items, and those just kind of sit. And then out in the world, you actually come in here and say build, you choose an item, and then somebody actually gets it. It's kind of like a get instead of a build, but anyway, it's not too confusing. So okay, so we've got the barrels. Let's go ahead and build the other stuff as well. So we're going to build storage. Let's see, we did crates. Let's do the barrels. We have 2 of those. So we'll put 2 of these here. Something like that. And then we will build storage bag, and we have 2 of those. So the bags hold the food, I believe, kind of the grain, stuff like that. The barrels are supposed to hold liquid, so I think that I'm putting them there, but they're not going to hold anything yet. And then the crates hold a lot of other things. I think they get pretty specific about what those do and do not hold, but I don't recall off the top of my head what that is. So anyway, we'll get those out. So you'll see them kind of come down here and grab these things. He's got a barrel or a crate. There's another crate. And they go, and there's a little bit of a setup. That's why they kind of pause there for a bit. So there's no real animation either as far as like them building or anything. They actually just kind of grab it, move, and you just see them stand there, and you just have to know that they are doing something. They will sleep, and they'll get Z's over their heads and everything. And now that I mentioned that, let's go ahead and... We do have 2 beds, so we're going to put down 2 beds. Let's see, it's furniture for those. Bed... Oh, I thought we had beds. Maybe not. Maybe we need the straw and we need to make them. I don't quite recall. So one of the things I'm going to do as well, and we'll do that in a bit, I'll probably cut it out because it will take me a little bit, but I will show you kind of one instance of it here, is if we go into stocks. I found this pretty handy when I was first starting. So out here in the top left, we can see that we've got 99 food, for example, 128 drink, but we can actually have tracked items. So we have food, drink, I can hit new, and I can do something like, I can get very specific, for example. I can say, food is 99, but I want to know something more specific, and I'm actually going to put a dash here, and you'll see why in a second. In fact, I'm going to do 2, and we're going to call it strawberries. Is that what I want to do? Yeah. Well, okay, we'll just do that. Then we're going to go over here to goods. We're going to go down to, let's see, it is in here, right? Yeah, there it is. Food and fruit. Strawberry. Now you can see it popped up here and it says 32. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it up. and go ahead and close this. So now you can see food, and I put the 2 dashes because it's a sub item right underneath food. So I think that's pretty sweet, and what's going to happen is I'm going to go in there and do a number of those. You know, in the tutorial I watched, he didn't get too crazy with this, and it's probably not a thing that, I don't know, maybe it's not a thing that many people get into or need, but I kind of like to see it. I was trying to make planks at one point. I wanted to make sure they were actually getting made, so I put that out here to make sure they were making the right kind of planks. That's one of the things to consider when you're using a workshop and you're making things, is that sometimes when you go to make something, it actually specifically states that you need pine planks, for example. So you want to make sure you're using the right wood when you have multiple woods available. And while I'm talking about that, let's kind of look in here and get the crude workbench is basically how we start. So let's do that. It does require stone. Now, again, we can go ahead and build. I'm going to pause at this point. We can build this, which is to say just put it out, put an order out in the world. And we're going to go ahead and put this here. But it's actually not going to get built until we have the proper materials. And if we click on it, we can go in here and see that we require a raw stone. So let's go ahead and pan out here. And I'm going to kind of scroll up and down and kind of remove the layers here and just see if there's any stone just right on the surface. And I didn't see anything. Nothing sticking out here, so yeah, we're gonna have to kind of dig for that. And I probably want to get somebody on that pretty quickly. Let's see. Okay. Now, if I'm going to dig into this, which is probably going to be what we're going to do, we're going to kind of dig in and build. Basically, we're going to have a home kind of underground. Then that's something I want to take into consideration right now. And I think what we'll do is, let me scroll into here. I'm trying to think of where we should have an entrance. It could be here. So let's see. How do we want to do this? Because I basically could dig a path through this stuff, or we could do kind of stairs down right off the bat. Maybe that's the way to go. Let's go ahead and, you know what we're gonna do is I'm gonna start this kind of in this area here, right above the farm and everything in the hills. So one of the first things I'm actually gonna do is just start cutting down a bunch of the trees. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's kind of start clearing some of this out. And we could use the wood anyway. Let me try that again. Let's back this up. I want to clear everything that's going to essentially be in our way anyway, so something like this. Now, in some of these games, they recommend, you know, don't do large chunks at a time. We're going to speed up time here too. They say, you know, don't do that. You don't want to tie them up or anything. But from what I've seen, it's like that's kind of a thing in Gnomoria. It's okay to kind of select huge chunks of area, and especially at this speed, it kind of gets torn through pretty quickly. So it's not too big of a concern. Now, these dark patches here, if I click on the ground, you can see it says dirt floor over on the right. But when I click here, it says clay floor. We can't actually do anything with a clay floor. So when I come over here and I think about, you know, wanting to farm, we actually have to tear the floor up. Now, every block has 2 parts to it. It has an upper layer, which is called the floor, and then below that is called the wall. So we can actually go in here and say terrain, dig. Actually, let's see. No, it's remove floor. So we can actually come in here and then select areas of floor to remove. And you can see the green squares are kind of what they're currently working on. So there we go, we can see that they're removing the floor there. And we could do the same over in these other areas as well. Let's actually just go ahead and do that. And here. Okay, and then, now this is something I've not done. I think we can actually, let's see, is it build and then terrain, floor, and then we can do any clump. So we can basically do soil, which is fine. So we can say build, and then I can just kind of drag across this area. So they should come over here and fill this in with dirt, which would be good, because then we can kind of use this area for farming or things like that. I'm not sure if it actually blocks my the stockpile or not, but anyway, look at all this fruit just chilling here. So I think we're kind of running out of space, so it might be the problem here. it might be we don't have enough stockpile space, so let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and this bench, we basically have this place to be built here when it's ready, but it's not. So I'm gonna take that out, and we're gonna actually designate some more stockpile area. We might as well attach it to this. So we'll come out to here. We'll go ahead and do goods again. Yeah, that'll work. So go ahead and let that go. And then I'm probably going to designate an area that's just for furniture because I start making things and I just want to make sure that we have room and it's strictly for that. Something like that. Alrighty, well we're coming along here. We've got all those trees get chopped down, so that's pretty cool. And you can see that was pretty quick. And obviously all of this stuff kind of got harvested pretty quickly as well. There is a command we can give to clean floor, and that basically tells them to kind of go out and start gathering things up, cleaning up an area, but I'm not sure we need to do that for this stuff out here. I have a feeling this is just that we're out of space in here. Let's see, content, so we do have quite a bit of stuff in there. Okay, well what I'm going to do is they are now sleeping, so they're going to be kind of hanging out tonight. I'm going to go ahead and pause this. I'm going to jump in here and set up some of the lists up here. If I go into the tracked items again, I'm going to put some more of that out here and get a couple things organized, and we'll pick it up in the morning. Okay, well the sun is back up, and I did get a couple beds put down. I also went over here and put the well in, essentially kind of putting the order in for where it would be located. So that's going to be up here in this corner. So we'll get to that at some point. That's requiring some wood and everything I don't have. Now, one of the things I'm really feeling I need to get is some stone, because we need to get those crude workbenches set up. So we're going to pause time here, and we need to start digging for that. When I scroll down here, you can see we don't see any stone, and if I come down, you can see that I do see that there's some clay down here, some clay walls, but that's it. So we're going to have to go underground in order to find this. So what I'm thinking is that we're going to start this kind of over here. We'll zoom in, and yeah, we're going to start digging. So what we're going to do is I'm going to dig, and what we're going to do is ramp down. It seems kind of weird. Now, the tutorial I watched made a whole lot of sense, because when I first was digging around, my guys would get stuck in areas. They would kind of dig and then couldn't get out because it was digging squares. But if you dig ramp down, it essentially digs a hole, but it also kind of digs a ramp with the next kind of block or whatever, so they always have a way like up or down. So that's what we're going to do, and what I'm going to do is just kind of designate an area here, a 3x3 area. Actually, you know what? Let's do this a little differently. At least to start, we're gonna dig. We're gonna mine this wall out if I can do it here. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna start there. Okay, now they didn't take the floor out, so we got to do that because I don't think. Yeah, we got to do that. Let's see. Remove floor. Okay, that's the next step. Okay, excellent. We pause time again. So now what we're going to do is we're going to ramp down, and in this corner we're going to do a 3x3. Right. So now they're going to come over and pop a hole in this guy. Get this dug down a bit. Okay, just about there, and you can see this kind of these angles are all in there, and if I pause it, you can actually use the comma and the period by default and rotate the camera around. So we're kind of rotating around to the right again, and we're now back around to where we were. So what we need to do is I'm basically wanting to dig into the level that is down there on the ground. So I'm going to scroll down a bit here. So this is where he's standing, and then we're going to mine wall and see about mining in here. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to do this kind of straight shot into here, something like that, and we're going to see how this goes, see if we run into any. Now we may have to go down. In fact, I'm pretty sure we have to go down another level or so, so that's going to be a thing. Let's mine this out. We're going to actually open this area up a little bit here, maybe not that big, something like that ought to work. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and pause this, and we're going to dig down again, only this time we're actually going to dig stairs down, and I'm going to rotate this. So I kind of want to come back towards us here. So it's a little weird because the stairs kind of look like they're sitting on top of the ground, but what you do is you focus on the little green square there, and this is kind of the middle-ish of the room. Both of these squares are, so I'm going to go ahead and just do that here. Let him dig that and pause it, and I'll show you. So there you go, we've got this kind of thing dug out. And now we're going to mine wall. Or do I have to dig on that? I guess I have to dig a hole. Get that started that way. Okay. Now let's see, we're going to actually go down one like that. Mine the wall, I think we can now, yes. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm actually going to do this kind of a little bit bigger. Actually, no, we better run this down here and then we'll open it up into a little room. Okay, now I am going to spread out a little bit here. We are at -2. Can't remember. I don't know that you had to go to -7. At the very top we have a depth of -2, and I recall there being something about -7. I don't think that's how far you had to go down for stone, but I could be wrong. So what I'm going to do is actually go ahead and dig stairs down. And we'll do this, let's see, and we'll do it here, which is the middle of the room, as much as it doesn't look like it is in the middle. Cool, scroll down. We're gonna dig as a hole. Or actually, can we do that as a wall? Yes, we can. We'll do 2 of these guys. Okay, we're going to dig stairs down again, and that's going to be, it doesn't look right, but that should be good. I think I got that selected. Yes, he is digging. Pause it, scroll down, do this again, mine this wall out. We'll go another 2. Okay, so we're currently -4. What we're going to do is I'm going to go down one more. Let's see, stairs, whoops, let's see, dig, stairs down. One more, that's where that would be. Pause it, scroll down, rinse, repeat, right? Okay, so we are now 5 levels down, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot this straight out here, get him started on that. Okay, and then we're going to, let's see, we're gonna scroll out a bit here. I'm just gonna hit this up with a cross section. Get both these guys in here. Lots of dirt. Not what I was hoping for. Let's see, we're gonna go ahead and do this guy out here quite a bit. They dig pretty fast. And I think what we'll do is we'll continue this way. Whoops. So here we found a clay wall. Once again though, no stone. I'm gonna go ahead and pause this. How unfortunate. So we've come down here quite a bit. Let's see. I mean, maybe we do need to go down to the -7. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let's I kind of want to leave this accessible. So what we're going to do is we're going to mine the wall out here a little bit more. So we can get around this, something like that. And we'll do this too. Okay, pause it, stairs it. Let's see, dig, stairs down. I'm not going to do it right in front of the step there. We're going to go 1 forward. Let him dig that out. Now, one of the things that kind of threw me was that with the stairs dug the way they are here, it looks like if I wanted to dig a tunnel forward, I would be digging out the floor on this thing, but it doesn't quite work that way. If I scroll down, ooh, what's that? Some kind of material, it's not telling me what it is. A serpentine wall. Yeah, that's kind of creepy. I actually have no idea. I know there's a number of creatures. The farther down you go, the more dangerous it gets, so there is that. There is that to consider. Let's get this going down here and see if we can find anything. Oh man, I was really hoping to find some stone there. Alright, let's do it this way. And no more serpentine walls. Let's just let that be the only one. Okay, once again, nothing. That's kind of killing me. Kind of killing me here. Let's, we're going to keep going though. I'm going to keep kind of trying to get this figured out. I'm not going to go towards that stone or that wall, that's for sure. We're just going to kind of spread this way here. Where are you going? Get back here. There's more digging to do. Well, I guess this guy will run over there and do it. No, we're not. Boy, am I having the worst luck or what? There's just not stone here. Alright, let's live dangerously. We're going to head in this direction. Nope. Oh, more of that. Okay. Interesting. I might end up blocking this off when they come out of here, because I'm a little scared. Actually, what I should be worried about right now is that the sun has gone down and they're ready to sleep. Yeah, let's go ahead and pause this real quick. I'm afraid he'll just kind of fall over and go and take a nap, and I really don't want to do that. We're actually going to build terrain wall. Any clump will do, and we'll just do the one here. Somebody? Anybody? No? Oh, there he comes. So we'll let him build that, and that's kind of blocked out. We're going to scroll all the way. Let's see, I'm going the wrong direction, actually, with my scrolling. We're going to come all the way to the top. Cool. Well, anyway, we got some searching in there and had no luck, unfortunately, but maybe we'll need to kind of try up a little bit higher. I don't think you have to go down that far. I just kind of thought that there would be more of it. Apparently that wasn't the case. So next time I think what we'll do is we'll kind of dig in up here and check a little closer to the surface, see if our luck is any better. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do, if you'd like to see more of this, because for right now this is going to be kind of we're going to kind of see what you guys think about this, see if you want to see more of this. So please, if you want to see more of this, do leave me a comment, let me know, and or give the video a like. Both of those are great ways to show me that you want to see me continue this, continue on from where we are here. Lets me know that you don't mind seeing me fail miserably, as you all know is probably going to be the case. But yeah, once again, thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it, and I will catch you next time.